Alright, boys and girls, this is your man Darkside here. Today, we're covering the topic, when is it appropriate? Well, not really appropriate. When is the best time in your writing career to start having a passenger, a pillion? Now, what I'm going to say here is it depends on how long you've had the bike and how long you have been riding. For me, I've had this bike a month, and I feel comfortable enough on it to do all kinds of crazy things. But that's because this is a bike meant for performance, and it's meant to do actually crazy shit. Now, on the other hand, on my old Harley, I used to cruise around at 120 miles an hour everywhere I went, maxing out a Harley, and I normally had she was my girlfriend at the time, but I normally have my now wife with me. I've always believed, ride within your limits. I love this bike, and like for those of you that don't know this is a leader bike. This is a ZX10, one of the fastest bikes on the planet. Like, the only bikes that are faster than this are like the Ninja H2, the ZX14, and the BMW. Like, I've even beat a couple S1Ks on this bike. I've beat a Hayabusa on this bike. When it comes down to raw power, this bike gives it to you. Because this bike only weighs about 430 to 450 pounds, depending on how empty the tank is. And it's very reliable. As you can see, I got almost 40,000 miles on this bike. Well taken care of. I ride this bike so much. I'm changing the oil on it about every month to every other month, and I keep it that taken care of. Like, it just got another valve service 3,000 miles ago. This is a good bike. But then you also have people that say, oh, Harleys are trash, they're not reliable. I'm going to tell you this. When it comes down to it, if you take care of any bike, there are a couple out there that will just blow up for you for no reason, like the Harleys in the 70s. AMF, as we all know. You know it? They leak oil, but those engines were designed that way. They were known for leaking oil because they were designed to leak oil. I don't agree with that. I think that they should have never done that, but that's a total loss system for you. But, as you can see, again, very comfortable on this bike. I almost had a tank slapper right there. But here's the thing. A bike is only as good as the rider. If you treat a bike like shit, if you don't know how to ride it, you're not going anywhere with it. And the same thing, if the bike is a shitty bike, you're not going to go anywhere. Ooh, look. People, motorcycles. My favorite thing to do is just to fly by people like this. Especially, like, I think that's a Daytona. That's a Triumph Daytona. Probably one of the most unreliable bikes ever made. Like, I like them. I like the fact that they're a 3-cylinder. They got some balls, but ain't nothing like a fucking leader bike. This is by far one of the best bikes I've ever owned. Well, besides my old Electra Glide, but that's in a completely different category. But back on topic, Pillions. A pillion is a passenger. And if you are the rider or the driver of that motorcycle, you are responsible for said passenger. There's no ifs, there's no way around it. You will be responsible for that person. That's why Mrs. Darkside, she doesn't ride with me. Because I love her and I care about her. I've been in plenty of accidents. And as everybody knows, the saying is, it's not when, it's if. Well, it's not if, it's when. There are two people in this world, people that have been down and people that are lying. And I will never lie, I have been down multiple times. I have been hit by a car going left of center. You want to talk about pain? I just got back full movement of my leg a month ago, which is why I was able to get this bike. I love riding so much, I don't care if it kills me. Like, even on old Harleys, I was the guy who would go doing wheelies on baggers, wheelies on Dynas. The only bike that's not really meant that you can't really do that with is a Softail. And that's because of how low they are. A touring bike, they got enough ground clearance and stuff. But then the problem with the touring motorcycles, they don't. They have they have a shock on each side of the tire. Fuck, it's raining. But back to it again. The problem with touring bikes, they got a strut and spring, or a shock and spring, or whatever you want to call it, on each side of the tire. And that's how death wobble is caused. It's caused by that and not having your neck bearings adjusted. I'm a mechanic, and I'm just now about to graduate school for motorcycle mechanics. And of course, hey, look at this. We got some dude just chilling in the middle of the street, you know, not giving a fuck. Yeah, he's slowing down everybody, but he doesn't care. But pillions, never put a pillion on your bike right after you get that motorcycle. Never. I don't even put my wife on my bike because I care about her, and I do crazy shit. I don't want her to get hurt as a result of me doing something stupid. But as you can see, we are now in like downtown northern Phoenix, and let's go see if we can find some people to hang out with. Speed bumps. I fucking hate these things. fucking suck. They hurt. But back to pillions. You are responsible for your passenger's life. If you're in a car, if you're on a bike, if you're on a bicycle. Heck, if you even go out to the bar with a friend and that person gets hurt because they went to the bar with you, aren't you going to feel responsible for them? Because here's what I'll say. I feel responsible. I don't even drink when I go out anymore. Because one, most of the time when I go, I'm riding a motorcycle. It's never a good idea to drink and ride. Holy cow, I didn't... See, I've lived here almost a year, I didn't know that was there. I've only seen those one time, and that was in northeast Arizona. But, back to the matter at hand. You can only do so much. You can only control so much. One thing you can't control is who's on your motorcycle. The only time you can't control that is when it gets stolen. Or when you sell it. You can control who works on it. You can control who gets on it. You can control everything. You can control everything about your bike. You can control how it's taken care of. You can control if you have a pillion or not. If you're not ready to take on that responsibility, don't do it. Especially like even within like the first month, just don't do it at all. Even if you feel like you are ready. If it's your wife, you still don't do it. You love her, don't you? I look at it this way. If you get a bike that can do crazy things, and there's nothing protecting you guys at all, do not get her involved. That bike looks familiar. But, woo! Another thing. Today's supposed to be a fun day. I don't know why I'm getting all serious. So what we're doing, we're just riding around, having fun, probably going to grab a drink, a Diet Coke, because like I said before, I don't drink alcohol. I like my Diet Coke and I like drinking that. I only have two things I'm addicted to. Well, three. Speed, motorcycles, and Diet Coke. Tried not drinking Diet Coke for a day, had a headache. Oh, it sucked. And it looks like it's about to start raining too. I'm not too thrilled about it. So, where am I? I did not know where I was for a minute, and now I'm a little fucking confused. There's the liquor store. Wow. People just not caring nowadays. I don't know what happened if I took my bike in there. And I was like, hey, you want to take a look at my bike? Tell me if I need anything? But she'd come back being like, oh, you need this, this, and this. Your coolant's bad, all this stuff. And me being me, I know I'm the last person that did the coolant and the last person that changed the oil. And the guy that I bought this off of put new spark plugs in it. Spark plugs are less than a year old. If anything, what I probably need is an air filter. Because it's sandy here and air filters are very, very needed. Right here. how reliable some bikes can be. Look at this one. Actually, I got a better idea. Look at Harleys from the 50s that are still running. I know motorcycles with 400,000 miles, and they're still running strong. It's the original engine. My teacher actually told me about a guy who had a Honda Goldwing with 400,000 miles, and he bought a crate engine for it just in case. He knows he's never going to need it, but you never know. Sometimes weird, crazy things happen. Right now, I'm wanting to think about getting a ride together with my friends tomorrow, and we can ride with him tomorrow too. M1 Sports Performance. I wonder what that's about. Yeah. But to those of you that aren't mechanically inclined and love motorcycles, you want to spend a couple bucks. If you want to save some money, learn how to work on them. Like, save like the big stuff. Save the big stuff for, you know, like an engine, like engine repair and diagnostics and stuff. Save that for, you know, the dealership, if that's not your thing. But if you want to save a couple dollars, like from an oil change, you'll save $100 by changing your own oil. You'll save a couple $100 by knowing how to change your own coolant. You'll save a lot of money by knowing how to work on your own bike. I am paying almost $30,000 to go to school to get Harley certified. And even then I still got to spend, I think it's like another year in the shop. It's not fun. But I'll tell you this, the one thing I am very passionate about is motorcycles. And I chose Harley because where I'm from, Harleys there's more Harleys than there are any other motorcycles on the street. And I would much rather always have work than have more downtime than I have work. I would much rather be doing a big bore kit on a Harley and trying to help the owner get a little bit more power than, you know, just doing standard stuff. I prefer to build. I prefer to make things better, bigger, stronger. I don't like when something breaks, you just replace it with the same thing, because your engine's already been freaking tuned up as much as it can go. But even then, with these imports, they're not all, even the new ones, they're not even tuned up as high as they can go. A lot of them, they're really leaned out because of the FDA. And I hate the FDA because the FDA is keeping motorcycle manufacturers and car manufacturers from being able to make really good things. Because, let's take it this way. I know you guys don't like the new Supra, but we wouldn't even have a new Supra if it wasn't for the Prius. The Prius is the reason why Toyota was able to make a Supra with as much power as it has. Because it's all about it's all about gas mileage as a whole for the manufacturer. And because of the Prius, the Toyota was able to put a little bit more fuel through that engine and make it a stronger and more powerful engine. But then, yes, I understand a lot of motorcycles get really good gas mileage, but a lot of what that is tuning and stuff. Like, if we had the perfect motorcycle it would be running 14.7 to 1 all the time. A lot of motorcycles are running a little leaner, like 15 to 1. There's somebody with a flat tire up there, guys. One thing I hate about here, you can never tell whether that car right there is a cop or a normal person. I hate that about Arizona. They don't have to have any markings on their undercovers. Woo. Wait a second here. Oh, I'm in the fun district. Where am I? Oh, I want Camelback. Yeah, so here's I think here in a second I'm probably going to go find a McDonald's to get a Diet Coke. Because those of you who know Diet Coke, you know the best ones are at McDonald's. Yeah, here goes the Best Buy. I might even hop back on the highway, get a little speed run in, see how fast we can go, boys. Except I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat on this thing. This bike terrifies me. Man, the freaking drug addicts around here crack me up. They're always walking funny and doing something stupid. That's one good part about Arizona. The drug addicts are good entertainment. That's one thing I've been looking for. I've been looking for a new dentist. Once again, everybody, if we are going to, if you're going to have a passenger, just make sure you're ready. Make sure that passenger is ready. Because I will tell you this. It's a lot harder. It's a lot. It's not really harder. Having a passenger on your bike changes your bike so much. On this bike, I hate having a passenger. Like, I love my wife, I love her, but this bike is not meant to have a passenger. It has a passenger seat and passenger pegs, but if you want to have fun and do things and do sport bike stuff, you cannot have a passenger. Wait a second here. Oh gosh dang it. is there a freaking road to get off at? Well, I'm on 24th Street, I know that. Yeah, as you can see, I'm still learning how to wheelie. Well, like I know how to on Harleys. Completely different. This thing, this thing is a completely different monster. This is a completely different monster of a bike here. A Harley has the torque, has everything else, does great burnouts. This bike is completely different. If you try doing a wheelie off the line, you will, a lot of times you will end up flipping this bike. And this thing weighs over 400 pounds. 400 pounds of metal on top of you is not fun. But this is my bike. My bike. It's my first street bike. Well, my first sport bike. I've had a Vulcan. I've had a Honda. I've had Harleys. Actually, I just realized the only brands I haven't had was Suzuki and Yamaha. I've ridden a Yamaha before. I've ridden a first gen R1. But again, it's a completely different bike. What do you say here? Oh shoot. I just realized the highway's back that way. Oh boys, I'm trying to find something to drink because that's one thing that sucks about here. If you do not have any source of water, you are screwed. Because out here it is so hot, you are always dehydrated. Like you need to make at least like $5 a day to go to McDonald's so you can afford a large drink at least. Because a lot of places, like McDonald's, if you ask for water, they give you a small water cup. But when it's 106 outside, you need a lot more water than a small water cup. That's one thing I hate about here. I used to be up north. You can ride all day long, no water needed. Just maybe drink a Coke every once in a while. You'll be fine. And then I get out here. I'm actually having to drink water. I hate water. I think it tastes disgusting. Because first off, we all pee in water. Everything in water is disgusting. Yes, we clean it, but it's disgusting. I do not like having to drink water that somebody has peed in. But even bottled water, yes, it's been freaking distilled or everything like that. It's still disgusting. I put distilled water in my motorcycle and I feel bad for it. I love my bike and I put distilled water in it because it's the safest water. And distilled water keeps your motorcycle cooler than coolant. Now, isn't that sad? Isn't that sad that something the manufacturer doesn't want you to do in cold weather climate keeps your engine cooler during the summer? I know, right? But let's look at it this way. An engine gets up to 240 degrees. Water boils, I think, at, what, 112? But even then, when water is pressurized, steam doesn't come up. I don't know if you've ever seen a car crash into a wall head first. And if you've ever seen that cloud of white smoke, that's because the radiator got punctured. The second pressurized water or antifreeze or coolant gets released into the air, it becomes a vapor. And that's because there is no longer any pressure keeping that liquid from becoming a vapor. When you pressurize a liquid, you increase the boiling point, which I think is pretty dang cool. Oh, come on, green. Green, like, go! Hey, why is it metered? There's like nobody out here. Like, I could literally get over. But again, I think the roads are a little slick. I should probably slow down. I hate water for that reason. I think it's disgusting. It's tasteless and disgusting. Like the only thing that I hate about Diet Coke is it's made with water. Is it has water in it. That's the only thing I hate about it. I love everything else about it. If I didn't need water, I would get rid of it. But like, look at it this way. I hate water because I feel like it's disgusting. Because all our sewage and stuff goes somewhere. And I don't know where that is. I sure as heck hope it's not going into our drinking supply, even though I'm pretty sure that's where it goes, and then it gets filtered out again to become more water. But then you have some people that still think the Earth is flat and don't understand why we only see one side of the moon. Why we only ever see one side of the moon, and then when you tell them, they say, "Oh, that's bullshit." Or then you got some people that don't understand. Hey, this is how you measure displacement in an engine. You're like, I don't understand that. And I can understand that's a little hard to understand how to measure a cylinder. But you learn how to measure a cylinder in like middle school math. And then, but what's really funny is people don't realize how small the measurements get on engines. Like, I think they get to the 100,000th, which is four decimal point, which is 4 zeros after a decimal point. And that's on freaking Americans. That's on American motorcycles. On Japanese motorcycles, they're measured down to the 100th of a millimeter. And I think it's pretty cool how we've evolved from not being able to do anything. And then we invented the wheel, and then we invented. See, what I've always wondered is which was invented first, the motorcycle or the car? Because I don't know why, but I feel like a motorcycle would have been first because it's a simpler machine. It's a chain attached to an engine with 2 wheels, and the gyroscopic forces of that keep the motorcycle upright. That's one thing people don't realize. motorcycles are a lot of physics. And I think that's really dang cool. I love me a fast boy, like a fast motorcycle, or I like, you know, I want to, like, when I get back up there, I'm going to get me a big old Harley bagger to go relax, go relax on the, what's it called, go do a nice long road trip with me and the wife. Because I'll tell you this, I do not feel uncomfortable riding with a passenger on a bagger, but I do on a bike that can hit almost 200 miles an hour. This motorcycle in first gear hits 100, and it's terrifying. Like, you can hear my bike's intake right now. It's atrocious. And I see the cap. I think there's a McDonald's I'm going to go to. I went there earlier today. Hey babe. I'm just riding around shooting a video. Look, another pig. But I think I'm gonna go to that McDonald's right down there. But yeah, physics is great. I can't wait to let y'all get to know me better. And then I can like teach you a couple things. Like this winter, I have a whole thing planned out for showing you how to do maintenance and winterizing a motorcycle. Because not very many people know how to do that. Not very many people do. Because if you're me, you just ride around when it's barely any, oh shoot, truck. When it's barely any, if it's just barely any snow on the ground. Because I'll tell you this, in Ohio I'll ride year round. I just gotta have the right stuff on, you know? Like if I don't have a jacket and gloves and thick pants, I ain't riding. Heck no. And screw getting on the highway with only a t-shirt and jeans and a helmet. But this winter, I'm planning on showing everybody what it's like to be a motorcyclist in Ohio during the winter when you ride street bikes. So I'll tell you this, it's a lot of fun, it sucks. But again, oh my god, they're making more houses. Why are they making more houses? We just saw those two cops. I know those homeless people aren't the best people, I bet. And they're making houses right there. Why? But again, every motorcycle is great. Just gotta find one that matches you. I'd much rather you ride something than nothing at all.